Let's take a little bit of a dip into the leadership world. Okay, you get in front of a
Mhm.
group, you are the leader at that point. In your toughest teaching situations or leading situations,
Mhm.
that is often when you find out what is your best. Like when you were at your best is often when it was the toughest. What do you think has been your finest moment as a leader?
I don't know about a finest moment as much as when I think that I served my students well in that moment. And it's usually when I've been able to break a cycle. When I've been in front of a class or a group that I think is not convinced that they can succeed, or maybe is not convinced that they want to do the work necessary to do this task, or feel that they are not really worthy of what they can be. And it's convincing them that they can. And I think that's the challenge for every teacher. I think all of us, no matter what the ensemble, no matter what the age level is, no matter where we teach, that's always a challenge, is to get students to believe in themselves. And I think that's the challenge of leadership. We can know all the theory in the world. We can have a handle on repertoire. We can have the best hands a conductor could have. We could have any of those things. We could have the best sense of music history. Whatever it is, we could all have those things. And if we don't have that leadership skill, it's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it. Does it make a sound? I think it's our ability to harness a group through our leadership skills and to get them to want to do it, to know how to do it, and to perceive the value, if you will, of what's at the end of that path. And I think it's those times in my life when I have been able to stop what I see as a negative kind of waning of those things, and instead turn it around and get them to be jazzed about what's going on. I remember once doing an ensemble that it was it was an ensemble that did not have a good feeling about themselves. It was a place where they auditioned many groups, and this was the lowest of the tier of them. And they went in with this attitude of, well, obviously everyone's told us we're the worst because we're the fifth ensemble or sixth ensemble. I forget what it was. And I remember thinking, why did they think this? And it was a tough go for the first, 45 minutes. And attitudinally, they played very well, but they just didn't think they were worthwhile because they felt that they had been branded, if you will, the worst group by being the fifth or sixth or whatever it was. And I remember going to my hotel room that night and restlessly laying there in bed thinking, what do I do? And the next morning we had a long talk. And the talk was basically, I believe in them. They should be honored because they get to sit in a room full of wonderful people making music, which not everyone in this world gets to do, and have glorious repertoire to play, et cetera, et cetera. And I started doing this. And I'll tell you what has at every juncture served me to help students get past this. And it's always been to help them experience a moment of beauty. It's what I've always referred to as a pearl. And I've written about it in the books a couple of times. It's one little thing. I think, if we wait for a piece to be wonderful, well, we all know that could take a while. If we wait for perfect, we all know that's never going to happen. And one of the things that I've always tried to instill in teachers is that we make a pearl. One little pearl hanging on a necklace is a beautiful thing, a beautiful beginning, beautiful middle, beautiful end. It's just gorgeous. True, 20 of them strung on a necklace is even nicer, but one pearl is perfect. And what I've always thought is every rehearsal, we need to make a pearl. We need to make one thing, whether it's just one beautiful triad, one little phrase, one cadence, that we can start the ball rolling by saying, did you hear it? Did you hear how beautiful that was? That was gorgeous. And you did that. And to let them feel the power of what they did, what they created, what they were able to harness. And then that sets the expectation of, wow, everything needs to be that good. But more importantly, how great did that feel? It's worth the work to make it feel that way. And whenever I've tried to motivate a group to get past themselves, if you will, that's how I've thought to go first. And it's usually served me well. And that ensemble I was just referring to, I sat down, I said, we're going to do this one thing. And I did just the last couple, three measures of a piece. and I polished it as best as we could to make it beautiful. And I knew it would be a tearjerker if we could do it. And at the end of it, the students were sitting up taller, holding their instruments just a little better, breathing a little deeper, watching a little better, but more importantly, they were feeling more. And by the end of this, I put my hands down and I said, "Did you hear that? That was beautiful. The tingle, the feeling of the skin, the goosebumps, that was just beautiful." And they looked at each other. I could see them looking around the room to make sure that they weren't the only one feeling that. And it turned the corner like a switch. And from then on, they wanted it as much as I did, probably more. And that to me is really the leadership skill that I think we as ensemble directors, but more importantly, in anything we do, that leadership role is to me the most powerful, because it's not me saying, okay, you should do this for this reason. That only goes so far. And if they trust me and they like me to some degree, okay, it'll have a little impact, but it's nothing compared to what the power of music can do because of that straight line connection between what we hear and what we feel. And that to me has always been better than any words. It's been better than any gimmick, so to speak.